Assalamu alaikum. I'm Malik Hajj, a priest of the Levites representing the Seven Thunders and a priest of the Abrahamic covenant. This is Up Late Update with Malik Hajj. This is where I take current events and get the understanding to them from a unsealed perspective of the Bible, and let you know what's taking place and how they fit with what's happening right now in the world today. We're going to begin with our first topic is China says U.S. sending very wrong, dangerous signals on Taiwan. And the more, excuse me, excuse me. And the more rampant Taiwan independence excuse me, activities are, the less likely a peaceful settlement will be. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi told us Secretary of State Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, the United States is attempting to undermine Chinese sovereignty over Taiwan. Wang told Biden on Friday in New York, according to a readout from his minister, excuse me, on Saturday. So this thing with China, excuse me, China's is America is basically trying to split um, China and Taiwan, and they're trying to do it in a way as if, you know, um, excuse me, they're trying to do it in a way where it's hitting, which is um, infuriating China, because they have no right, America has no right to to uh, intervene, because it's a, a inside it's inside of China. It's their business. Is China's is the government. Excuse me, man. I don't know what's taking place with this coughing right now. I don't know if it's sun. Excuse me. Mm. Let me. Excuse me. Hold up. Together. So America doesn't have any right to go into China in an internal affair and get to pushing on an internal affair, because that's you're stepping on the toes of China. You're stepping on their sovereignty of their country. You're trying to split and you're trying to split their country, and you're affecting them solving their internal problems, and you're pushing this, and America is purposely trying to put a wedge in this, and then share with China, and then share with China that Joe Biden shared with China again, says U.S. forces would defend Taiwan from Chinese attack. So you're trying to say that whatever you're trying to break up that country, and you want to know why China is furious. Now, Chinese foreign minister in a statement on the U.S. meeting said U.S. was once again sending very wrong, dangerous signals on Taiwan, and more rampant Taiwan's independence activity, the less likely there would be a peaceful settlement. Say that again. The Taiwan issue is an internal Chinese matter, and the United States has no right to interfere in what method will be used to resolve it. The minister cited Wang said. So the basis is, like we said, if you probe and act like the world and act like you're a peacemaker. Now, if you're a peacemaker, you will allow them to make peace in their country. But it's the opposite, because America is out for what it needs and what it wants, its agenda. Now, they claim that they're peacemakers, but they're destabilizing China. They're saying that instead of allowing them to work their differences out amongst them, America is saying that they're backing Taiwan, but lying. But lying at the same time talking. I don't know who the. I don't. This is consistent with America. I don't know who they think they be talking to. Like everybody's dumb. Yeah, but we're respecting China's sovereignty and we respecting our own right. What we this one China, one nation. How are you respecting that? And you trying to split the country in two, and you're dealing with Taiwan as it's individual country. So we're gonna speak on this. We're gonna go to our next topic. Hold up, excuse me. But this is how they say one thing, but they're doing another, and act like they're invisible as they doing it. Act like nobody don't see what they're doing, and then claim that they're peacemakers. And they definitely trying to draw a wedge in between the two, and then threatening like that the U.S. is going to defend Taiwan. Well, we'll see where this goes. We'll explain it from the Indian perspective that, excuse me, from the unsealed Bible perspective, that America is purposely and literally purposely trying to get a rise out of China. And that's exactly what they're going to get. The realm is going to China is going to, China's going to, they're not going to sit down and let this happen. That's for sure. They're not going to sit back and allow America to sit up and push a wedge between, and then talk to them. Yeah, we respect you, but whatever Taiwan do, we gonna back them up. We gonna go to war with them against you. We're gonna our military is going to back them. That's a smack in the face. That's a smack in the face. You're intervening in somebody else's inner country affairs, and you can't. And I don't know where you do that at. You in somebody else's house, intervening. Now, it just don't make sense. I mean, it doesn't. They're not going to stand for that. No one would. No other country. You can't do that with America. Nobody can just walk in American, such as this state got a problem with the this state got a problem the with the rest of the states, and we're going to side with this state. You can't do that, man. Come on. Let us go to our next topic. Our next topic is Joe Biden again says, well, already. Our next topic is Biden plain creepy for comment about his relationship with 12-year-old girl when he was 30 years old. Conservatives on social media were disturbed and confused following President Joe Biden's cryptic remark about a friendship he had with a 12-year-old girl when he was 30. During a speech to the National Education Association, the nation's largest teachers union, and other Democrats on Friday. Biden momentarily interrupted his remarks on climate change to address a woman in the crowd he apparently knew long ago. Biden said, and everybody found out there's not a lot to total climate deniers anymore after they've seen what deniers after they've seen what happened this year. But guess what we got to do? Then he pointed into the crowd and in a low voice said, "You gotta say you got to say hi to me." The crowd laughed and Biden said, "We go a long way back. She was 12 and I was 30. But anyway, this woman helped me get an awful lot done. Anyway." The crowd laughed again, though not everyone who heard Biden's off-the-cuff remark found it so enduring. As dementia progresses, patients lose more of their filter and tend to blurt out the truth. Biden, she was 12, I was 30. Now, she was 12, I was 30. This is Joe Biden in front of a teachers a National Education Association teachers union, the largest teachers union. And they was talking about climate change, and he jumped off of the subject because he evidently recognized the woman in the crowd and started speaking to the woman. and the information came out, he said that he had a relationship with a 12-year-old girl when he was 30. Didn't, but what kind of relationship can you have with a 12-year-old girl when you're 30 years old? So, you get to, it says now, this dementia that he's supposed to have. Dementia progression, patients lose more of their filter. They lose more of they and tend to blurt out the truth. So more than likely he witnessed somebody, he seen somebody he knew, and his mind just began to speak out the truth that he knew this girl. And another thing that stands out, he said, we go a long way back. A long way. She was 12 and I was 30. But anyway, this woman helped me get an awful lot done. Anyway, what did a 12-year-old do for a 30-year-old man to get a lot done? Something you got to think on. That's a pedophile. That's a pedophile. And you know, we come up, I mean, this country is built and raised on pedophilia. Pedophiles. Straight that was raping our children. They was raping our children. It doesn't matter how far back you go. They was raping our children. So they're pedophiles, and he can't help it. His dementia, he can't keep quiet. He's blurting out the truth. And you talking about, keep talking about what somebody's doing in their countries and how the police is America is trying to push and blow up everything that's happening in somebody else's country. That's all you see in the headlines is the police killed a woman and a woman died in police custody in Iran. What's taking place in Russia? What's happening in China with trying to get them for human rights treatment, trying to bring up human rights charges on China. All these things that they trying to pull up on people is America is habitual have a habitual record for everything that they're talking about. They're habitual. So Joe Biden is his children call it. No, this is no joke. His children calls him Pervy Joe. What kind of nickname is that? Because he already admitted he took baths with his daughter. Showers. and his children call him Pervy Joe, and he's blurting out that he had a relationship with a 12-year-old when he was 30, and she helped him get a lot done. We're going to move on to our next topic. They can pick, shoot, they should have picked her up and asked her, what would you know about him? What did he do to you? On this next topic, signs of Iran deal progress are not positive. Saudi foreign minister says Faisal bin Farhan said on Friday, there is little optimism for the fate of nuclear negotiations with Iran. We are hopeful that there is still potential for progress on the negotiations, but unfortunately, the signs as of now are not positive. Prince Faisal said. The Saudi diplomat spoke to media following a meeting of the Gulf Cooperation Council. Now, let me say that again. Following a meeting of the Gulf Cooperation Council, plus Jordan, Iraq, and Egypt, the GCC plus 3, in New York on the sidelines of this year's UN General Assembly. The meeting came after talks foregoing a new nuclear deal with Iran have floundered. Former President Donald D. Trump obligated the U.S. side of the agreement in 2018 to slow Iran's deployment of a nuclear weapon seems far off. The GCC plus 3 meeting hosted by U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken was very good and followed up on President Joe Biden's visit to Judea in July. Prince Faisal says Saudi foreign minister view on the nuclear talks with Iran, calling them his view on the nuclear talks with Iran, calling them frozen. So the nuclear, now there again, we're going to highlight that the nuclear talks with Iran is frozen. The nuclear negotiations with Iran there is little optimism for the fate of the nuclear negotiation with Iran. So, once again, now you see that the nuclear negotiations, on one end they're frozen. Then you have this Abraham Accord, or now it's called the the Gulf Cooperation Council. And this is with Jordan, Iraq, and Egypt. The GCC plus 3. So this is a council that's been set up, and if you just looking at the participants, this is part of the part of the Abraham Accord. These are part of the members of the Abraham Accord. So we finally hear, Saudi Arabia come out, and that's a reason why I brought this this topic out. This is like the first time, not in a while, that Saudi Arabia has spoken out, have said anything in an interview on the JCPOA. And since now, if you look watching, they spoke about it because now look, it's optimism. It's little optimism for the fate of the nuclear negotiation with Iran. So it's frozen. The deal to them is frozen, and they see that now we don't have to worry about them going into the deal. So they're looking into, they're all conditioning and looking. And this is part of the Abraham Accord. This is the Cooperation Council that, the UN is planning for Plan B. False Israel has been given the green light to plan for Plan B. So, with that being shared, then we know that if everyone's saying there's little optimism, the plan is frozen, the JCPOA is frozen, the JCPOA is on, it's in the ER, it's on life, it's basically dead. It needs to be in the ER. It needs life support. All these things is letting you know what's taking place, where they're at in their thoughts about the JCPOA. And they've even mentioned it that that over the weekend that they got nowhere. They hit a dead what they shared. They hit a brick wall with Iran. So they're not willing to, go further with the deal. And they're not willing to speak on it. So we know where we are with this nuclear deal. So been sharing that they wasn't going to go back into it. And now you see that everybody is planning for Plan B. America, Britain, False Israel, everybody's planning for Plan B. The UN is planning for Plan B. They shared it. Now we're gonna go to this next. Before we go, Okay, we'll go to the next one and I'll get that on the wrap up. Let's see how much time we have. Okay, pretty good. Now, this next topic is, let's get right into it. Yeah, we'll get right into it because this is definitely another thing. This it's gonna fit right in with what America is claiming and trying to dig out and highlight what's something that's taking place in the country. Elijah McClain's death caused by ketamine injected, amended autopsy. It's the amended autopsy. Report says that the 23-year-old black man Wednesday, a week after he was stopped by police in Colorado and sedated by paramedics. An amended autopsy report released Friday revealed Elijah McClain, a 23-year-old black man who died after a confrontation with police officers, died because he was injected with ketamine by paramedics after being forcibly restrained. I believe this triggered fatality is most likely the result of ketamine toxicity. Reports said, adding, McClain's received a higher dose of the sedative than he should have. Simply put, this dosage of ketamine was too much. Simply put, this dosage of ketamine was too much for the individual, and it resulted in an overdose. The manner of McClain's death is now this is the manner of McClain's death is undetermined, according to the amended report. The original autopsy report, signed November 7, 2019, said McClain's cause of death could not be determined, but new information that emerged during a grand jury investigation prompted the state's attorney general office to order a second autopsy. Now, America is pushing and trying to highlight and trying and talking about censoring police officers in Iran, as their police officers over here on a daily. We can pick out somewhere in America pretty much every day when the police kills or somebody in custody of the police is being murdered by the police. Now, the thing that really stands out in this is the whole thing is trumped up and a lie. The whole situation. First of all, they said he had an altercation. He was detained forcibly by the police. Now, further in the report, after they started digging, the grand jury, then he was choked. Other information became available. That was already there, that they wouldn't, that the report said that they must have overlooked or didn't allow into the investigation. So they didn't say, they started the reporter, the way it's reported in a way that it's a lie. It's lying. It's causing your ears to hear something that you shouldn't even be hearing. Like that. The reporter said he died. So he died from ketamine. But he was choked. And when does the what caused, see now it's too many, what caused the paramedics to come and shoot somebody with some ketamine? And then they said it so casually, he received more ketamine than he should have. What is ketamine? When do somebody have an altercation with the police and the paramedics come and shoot you with something? When does that happen? Is that something new? That the we're having a problem, so shooting with something. Evidently, he had already been choked. They trying to cover something up with shooting him with something. Now he dies later. Now it's an overdose. It's other information. Now he was choked. He was choked now, and still what they're saying that they're charging the police with is now they're going back and they indicted the police, the two police officers, and and the 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 ambulance, the ambulance workers, um uh, the paramedics. Yeah, the paramedics. So they're indicted. They got a big indictment on them now. And one of the officers is not working there no more. However, to get this, the beginning, so the way it's reported, they was going to sweep it up under the rug. They sat up there and said his death is non-determined. The reason, the cause of his death is non-determined. How are you a 23-year-old black man moving, living, and doing whatever, living, and you come in contact with the police and they forcibly detain you and come and listening to the rest of the report of what he was doing, what he done. They forcibly obtained him. They choked him. Who knows how long they choked him? But it's some other information and people seen it and videotaped it and was there speaking on behalf of him getting what when it happened. But America, as you can see, the law, they was on the fix. They was on the take. They was going to clean it up. As you can see in their report, they was about to clean this up. But it had to come out. See, these things is happening now. They trying to sanction police officers, trying to convict somebody for cruelty or human rights. This is America. Speaking about what's taking place everywhere around the globe, except what America is doing right here in America and around the globe. Acting like America is the big angel, an angel that is out doing the works of an angel, the works of great good, and offering good tidings, freedom, justice, and equality to all. America's a lie, a big liar, and is sitting up trying to separate and digging in people's business, starting wars, literally funding the war in the Ukraine. They even spent billions of dollars. Billions. They're sitting up trying to put a wedge in China and Taiwan, lying in everybody's face, talking about they understand and they respect their one China law, one rule, one China, one one country, one. If you respect that, you can't. But then you stand up and say, "Well, we gonna go to war." You know, our military is going to back Taiwan. So, from the unsealed Bible perspective, all these things that's happening, the war with Russia, the um, inciting of China, go the the stalling, the ending of the JCPOA, or the being frozen, or um, off the table. So America is lined up within these three hot spots in this war in the Middle East that they're planning for. Is what that's the next thing, that the next event that's going to take place. This abomination of desolation. And you see all these things is coming about, and it's getting hotter, and things is happening faster and faster. There's a couple of other reports that I didn't get into, but I'm gonna touch on them, to the energy crisis in Europe. That Europe is saying, and the thing about it is, they'll say so much, but they won't tell the whole truth and all the truth. They can't, because it would really damage or cause a riot or something in their country. It would cause an uproar. But you see that the dollar is rising. The power of the dollar is rising from inflations. The inflations is rising the dollar up. But Europe's economy is being crushed slowly but for surely. It's being not no hold on. Let me say that again. Fastly being crushed. Now they are not coming out, but they are. You can dig and read that they don't have gas now. They don't have oil. They're low on gas in countries now, to where it's places several petrol stations without gas. Businesses, companies, corporations is starting to have production problems because they're out of energy. They don't have the necessary energy to run the business, the corporation. So if they're feeling that now, in the near future, it's going to get worse because they're going to need more gas, natural gas, oil. They're going to need more of that the colder it gets. And they're already feeling it. It's countries over there receiving 25% of the gas that they usually get. So China, so Europe is in an energy crisis. The economy is being hammered. Prices is going through the roof. There's Biden is giving a million barrels of gas per day out. And this war in the Middle East that's going to break out is really going to bring a change to America rapidly, because looking at it from here, America got it made, got it covered. But that's what the scriptures, the unsealed scriptures say, that America is not going, when everything really hits the fan here in a second, America, in a few days, America is going to lean back and say, we got to take care of America. And that's going to leave their allies, what is the EU going to do when we don't have it? We got to take care of America. When that oil doesn't come back to the market, when America and Britain is kicked out the Middle East, then the oil that they're stealing out of Syria or receiving out of Saudi Arabia, which is the bulk, that's the basis of the oil that's being used. So when that oil is taken out the market, Iran's oil is already that's not on the market. That you won't be getting none of that. And Russian oil, they're not getting none of that right now. So what is the situation gonna look like? It's going to change overnight. Now, we're in this time of, and as you see, everything is lining up. The abomination of desolation. Said this war in the Middle East, now you can see it. They're planning for plan B. The JCPOA is frozen or off the table. So plan B is going into effect. So the abomination of desolation. So Michael and his angels, Rastafari Muhammad, Iran and Syria is going to war with. the house aside, America and Britain, and false Israel. False Israel is going to be, they're going to, first, the house aside is going to be taken down. America and Britain is going to be kicked out the Middle East or removed from the Middle East. False Israel is going to be sieged and then destroyed. That's the abomination of desolation, the shock of the hour. And with that happening, that's going to shock people's mind because they don't see, they're thinking that false Israel, American and Britain and the house aside, they're going to just, they're going to obliterate Iran. They're just going to run over there and just do what they want to do. They're thinking that, it's no big deal. We got this under control. And false Israel, they're saying that, when looks like we're down, the God gonna come and save us and we're gonna be all right. So when they see what really happens in false Israel, as the scriptures say, when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, know that its desolation is near. So when false Israel is seized and destroyed by Michael and his angels, when they see that, the whole world is going to see. Everybody's going to realize and look and know that this lying throne, or those that call themselves Jews and are not, that is sitting on this lying throne, that has been put on this throne by Britain and America, Magog and God, and they're taking out. When they see that, they're going to be shocked. It's going to cause them, their heads to blow, aneurysms, heart attacks, pressure, blood pressure going to skyrocket. They, pressure, they might, blood clots, and just they go in shock, stroke out from seeing the truth. And when they see that, they gonna know, it's gonna clear up. It's gonna cause all people's minds to click. It's gonna switch the lights on for a lot of our people. Oh, right then, bam, their minds gonna clear up, and they gonna see that the black man, that the black man and woman of America, is the true seed of Abraham. That is the true seed of Abraham, that is receiving the birthright. That is the real one to receive this birthright. After 400, all the things that we've been teaching, the Abrahamic covenant, all these things is going to come into light. Each thing that's been shared, you're going to be able to see it over soon as lights come on. And that's when, see where we at. Okay, our time. That's when we're going to be up under full attack. And they're going to attack us because they're going to understand pretty, you know, they're going to attack all black. Because they're going to see that we're the cause of what's taking place. It's going to start adding up. But this war in the Middle East is the spark for the war of Armageddon that is going to immediately start. So it's going to immediately start after this abomination of desolation. However, we're going to, when they attack us, you got to know, we're going to let you know that you're going to have to flee. You're going to have to flee. You're going to have to move around. And as the war, as we get closer, we'll give you more information. We'll just giving you the information right now that so you will know when you see these things, you'll be right on point. But as things, soon with things, when Michael hits the switch, would definitely give you more understanding, more information. And with that, I'm gonna bring this to a close. We covered everything. I think we covered everything. I did. Did we cover that? Yes. How did we cover that? Okay. I think that's good. So we'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Eastern, and 9 o'clock Pacific. And I'll greet you as I came with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.